All right, here's a good question about moving up in kettlebell weight. Say you chose one to have, someone got a weight and they're trying to look, what point do you jump up to the next one? Because kettlebells jump up in usually 4 kilogram increments, which are 8.8 pounds. So you're almost jumping 10 pounds every time. So let's say you start with a 24 kilogram kettlebell, it's 53 pounds. When you jump to the next weight, a lot of this stuff depends obviously on your goals. Are you looking to get stronger? So if you're looking to get stronger, you're going to be needing heavier weights. It doesn't matter if you do 500 35-pound overhead kettlebell presses. You're never going to press 100 pounds, okay? Because overhead with one arm, it's just not giving you that stimulus to build strength like that. You're building strength endurance. If you do 500 reps, your lactic acid threshold is going to be through the roof. But anyway, so let's just say if you're doing kettlebell sport, the ranking tables are easy to go for this. You go by rank. So say rank 3, you're using a yellow kettlebell. Say rank 2, you're using a purple kettlebell, which is 44 pounds. And by the time you hit the numbers that are allotted in competition, you can jump up to the next kettlebell and you're going to start lower on the reps. But I would say if you have a 53-pound kettlebell and you can press that thing, let's say 10 times fairly easy overhead, you can clean, 10 to 20 times without your form failing. You can do 5 to 10 snatches, Turkish get-ups. You could do anywhere, let's just say 5 Turkish get-ups in a row on each arm. Then I think it would be time you could grab the next weight up, which would be a 28 kilogram or 60, and you'd be able to kind of, let's say, own that. But you're going to start down at the bottom again with that weight, but that's the beauty about progressing is you can just start working your way up from that. When you just jump directly from a 24 to a 28 kettlebell in just snatches or something like that, it gets incredibly tough. So they started making 2 kilogram increment changes in bells, and that's what I'd recommend. But a lot of people just don't want to buy. Kettlebells can be expensive, but so are most weights. But kettlebells are harder to find good ones at just stores, right? So usually good kettlebells, you have to order them online, things like that. You can't just run to a Play It Again Sports or whatever and get just a random kettlebell. If you do, they're usually pretty crappy. Someone got them at a store like Walmart or Target. They didn't like it because it hurt them because they didn't learn how to do it correctly, and they sold it to a secondhand exercise store. Anyway, sometimes you can get really good deals there when people get something, it messes them up, say like 100-pound kettlebell or something like that, and they are hurting themselves. Well, you're going to get that later. And anyway, so yeah, don't jump too high. That's the thing. A lot of people they would go for a 35-pound kettlebell and immediately jump up to a 53-pound kettlebell, then immediately up to a 70-pound kettlebell. And from the 70, they go up to 100. I mean, you got to think, 100 pounds from 70 is nearly, do the math here, I mean, it's 30 more pounds, so it's nearly 50% increase. That's insane for a jump. You wouldn't do that with a barbell. So why do people think they're going to do that with a kettlebell? I know it's because it's lighter weight, but still, most people get into kettlebell and they haven't given themselves ample time to become efficient at the movements. So yeah, you might be strong enough, but anytime that weight goes off track or off your press or off your snatch or whatever, it's a very large chance to injure something. Okay. I love kettlebells or overhead. If you lose it, it's not going to come down like a bar on you. If you do a snatch, there's a difference. But anyway, like you can still, people try to wrestle that kettlebell when it's up above your head. And if it goes far behind you, you don't have much leverage there. So when the bell is way too heavy for a lot of people to handle and control, that's when they can start really tweaking muscles, getting some small tears or something like that, and definitely can get some tendonitis from going through that too fast. That's one of the big things, is jumping up in weight too fast, especially with kettlebell. Your grip, people get a lot of tennis and golfer's elbow, so that epicondylitis in the elbow area, where your forearm and finger flexors and extensors are located, because they went too fast. They didn't give those muscles a chance to adapt, those tendons and ligaments a chance to adapt. Anyway, so before jumping on, just take your time. That's my biggest advice.